This week, I'll lead you through a slow flow yoga practice for full body strength and mobility. Let's get started. This week, you don't necessarily need any props for your practice. However, if you like to cushion your knees, you could have something to put under the knees. We are going to have quite a few poses on the knees. And then an optional prop would be a bolster or a block that you could place under your pelvis as we go into a shoulder stand in the end of the practice. So I will give you a variation, an option for that shoulder stand. And for that variation, some props under the pelvis will be helpful. And then we're going to start in a seated pose. So this could be any easy seat where you could take a few minutes as we focus on breathing before we start to go into any further poses. And if you want to bring something under the pelvis here, feel free to do that. You could have your hands resting on your knees, or you could bring one hand onto your belly and then other hand somewhere where you can feel your ribs. If you want, you can close your eyes or just soften your gaze down towards the floor. So inviting your awareness inwards. And then give yourself a slightly deeper, slightly slower breath in. And a slightly longer breath out. Take another deeper, slower breath in and out, just noticing where in your body you can feel those breaths. Where can we find or create space for the in-breaths? Maybe find some softening with the out-breaths. And then with your next in-breath, send the breath down to the belly, then the bottom of the rib cage, and then up to the chest. Exhale from the belly, the bottom of the ribs, the chest. And again, breathing in towards the belly, the bottom of the ribs, the chest. Breathing out from the belly, the bottom of the ribs, the chest. 2 more times. Breathing in towards the belly, bottom of the ribs, chest. Breathing out from the belly, the lowest ribs, the chest. 1 more time with your own pace, breathing into the belly, the lowest ribs, the chest, the top of the rib cage. Exhaling from the belly, the bottom of the rib cage, the chest. And then just return back to your relaxed breathing. If you have hands on your body, you might release the hands, bring hands to rest on your knees or on your lap. And just observe the breath. Allow your breathing to stay steady, calm, rather slow. And just notice where you can feel your breaths in your body after those more controlled breaths. And then if you have your eyes closed, slowly start to open your eyes. Turn your palms onto your knees. And then we're going to go into some circling cat-cows. Now, as you inhale, open your chest, circle the chest to one side. As you exhale, round your upper back, circle to the opposite side. Continue the same way. So circling your chest one way. You might be also circling your weight from one buttock to the other. Allowing your chest, allowing your spine to move. Maybe the shoulders, the neck, the head move as well. Keep the circles gentle. And from an easy place, change the direction. Go a few times the other way. Just letting yourself explore the spine, explore the hips. Explore your breath and notice how your breathing might change when you start to move. Let's do one more circle. And then bring yourself back to center. And now slide your right hand onto the mat. So leaning onto your right hand, and as you inhale, lengthen up through the left arm. Exhale, bend over to your right, a gentle side bend. You can bend the left arm, maybe bring the left hand behind the head to support the head, to support the neck. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you inhale, lift back up. Exhale, bring that left hand on the mat, leaning on to the left hand. Inhale, lengthen up through the right arm. Exhale, bend over to the left. And again, you might bend the right arm, maybe bring the hand behind the head, behind the neck. Send a couple more breaths towards that right side body. Breathing towards the right armpit. And then as you inhale, lift back up. And exhale. Bring the right hand back onto the mat. And now bring your left leg next to your left hip so that you're leaning more onto the right buttock, like a deer pose. We're going to bring more weight onto the right hand. And then as you inhale, lift your pelvis up off the mat, opening the chest. You might turn your chest up towards the ceiling. Breathe here in and out. And exhale, lower the pelvis down. Change the legs the other way around, leaning onto the left hand. Bring the right leg kind of slightly behind you or next to the right hip. And as you inhale, lean onto that left hand and lift your pelvis up, open through the chest. You might turn your chest even up towards the ceiling if that feels good. And take another breath here, in and out. Left arm pressing down. And then exhale, lower back down. And then bring yourself onto hands and knees. And this is where you might bring now the knee pads under the knees. If you know you have sensitive knees. And find your palms on the mat. Spread your palms, your fingers. We're going to leave the right knee on the mat. And then as you inhale, lengthen the left leg up behind you. Long line from head to your left foot. Take another breath in here. And as you exhale, round the back, bring your left knee in towards the belly, towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen the left leg back. Gentle opening through the chest. Same again. Exhale, round the back, draw the left knee in. You can push the mat away. Inhale, lengthen that left leg back. Open the chest. One more time. Exhale, draw the left knee in.
And then inhale, lengthen the left leg behind you, but now leave it at kind of the hip, the pelvis height. And then we can balance a bit more. So if you want to try, lift your right hand off the mat and then reach the right arm next to your side, behind you. Keeping the core strong, keeping the weight at the center. Take another breath here. And then as you exhale, lower the right hand down, the left knee down, and now round your back into child's pose. You could lean head down on the mat, or you can bring hands under the head. And send a few breaths towards the back. Breathing down to the lower back. At the back of the rib cage. Between the shoulder blades. And then with your next couple of breaths, bring yourself back onto hands and knees. You might adjust your hands, again spread the palms, spread the fingers, long line through the back. And then we're going to lift the right leg up into the air. Finding your balance here. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, draw the right knee in, round the back slightly, creating space for the leg. And inhale, reach the right leg up. You can open the chest. Same again. Exhale, bring the right knee in. Push the mat away through both arms. Inhale, lengthen the right leg back. One more time. Exhale, draw the right knee in. You can draw in through the belly. And then inhale, lengthen that right leg behind you. And again, leave it at kind of pelvis back height, finding your balance. Either stay here, or if you want to balance more, lift the left hand off the mat and reach the left arm next to your left side behind the back. And breathe. We keep the core strong. Keep lifting in through the belly. Finding space for the breaths. And then exhale, bring the left hand down. Bring your right knee down, and then we're going to visit a brief downward facing dog, lifting the pelvis up. You could walk a bit from one foot to the other. If you had knee pads there, you might put them aside for a moment. And then from this downward dog, we're going to inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Release the toes, and now bring arms either next to your sides or bring hands together, interlock fingers behind the pelvis, behind the back. Full locust pose. Exhale, press down through the front of the pelvis. And as you inhale, start to peel your chest and the front of the legs off the mat. Find a low flying locust. Really focus on engaging through the whole back side. Draw your shoulder blades in towards each other. And if you have interlocked your fingers, you might also turn your palms away from your shoulders so that your palms are facing towards the feet, if that feels better. Breathe in and out. Keep drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, slowly soften down. Release the arms. Bring hands next to your shoulders, under the shoulders. Take a deeper breath in and out. And then Press down through your hands, lift onto hands and knees. Bring elbows onto the mat and either interlock fingers here, making a triangle shape with the arms, or turn palms to the mat. We're going to go into low plank. So now, extend your legs, lifting knees off the mat and trying to lower your back to one long line. And we'll try to take between 5 to 10 breaths here. With each exhalation, see if you can find some engagement through your thighs, through the pelvis, through the core. If you start to feel that you're losing the quality of the pose, then just come down. So more focus on quality, keeping your body safe, than trying to extend the time. If possible, take a couple more breaths in and out. And then let's slowly come down. You can bring your knees down, lower the pelvis, the chest down, step hands back under shoulders. Now keep your legs on the mat and inhale, lift into a cobra pose, opening through the front. You might keep your elbows bent, you might even extend the arms if that feels good. Now just opening through the front. Take another breath in and out here. And then exhale, lower your chest down. Lift onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. And we lift into downward dog. You might adjust your hands. You might adjust your feet. You can shake the head a bit. And then from this downward dog, we're going to step the right foot forward all the way to hands, and we'll bring left knee onto the mat. So if you know that you might want to have a knee pad there, bring some cushioning under the left knee. Press down through the right foot. Bring hands onto your shoulders. And then as you inhale, open the chest, circle the arms. Exhale, close the chest, circle elbows forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Circling your elbows, circling your shoulders, couple more times. Following your breath. In breath opens. Exhale, leaning forward. Well, let's do 2 more rounds. It could be a very gentle circle. Allow neck, head to move. And then lift yourself higher up onto that left knee and rotate your left foot or your left shin roughly 90-degree angle. So it's going across the mat. And from here, we're going to release the arms and we're going to lean on to that right foot. So a bit like low flying warrior 2. We're going to walk hands diagonally away from the pelvis. So maybe hands go somewhere kind of not right to the right foot, but slightly out to the side. You could stay on your fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, see if you could lean a bit further forward. Could be a big opening around the hips. And you might move here a bit. Kind of lean a bit to the right foot, a bit to the left knee. You might even circle the pelvis a bit. Getting quite deep into the hip pelvic area. And then with your next couple of breaths, slowly lift your back up. And now open arms into warrior 2. So finding warrior 2 legs on the left knee. So make sure your right knee is happy going over that right foot. And let's move a little bit, getting into our side body.
Bring your right hand in front of you, maybe onto the left hip, and exhale, lean into an extended side angle, left arm going over, leaning a bit more to the right leg. Inhale, lifting up. Now left arm in front of the body, maybe reaching to the right hip. And then next exhalation, leaning away from the right knee. So right arm reaching over, you can lean a bit more weight onto the right foot. Same again. First inhale, lift up to center, change the arms, and then exhale, lean over the right leg. Inhale, lifting up, change the arms, so left arm in front of the body. Next exhalation, leaning away from the right knee, but at the same time you might lean more weight onto the right foot. One more time. Inhale up to center. And exhale, right hand in front of the body, leaning towards the right leg. Just take one breath here. And then we're going to inhale, lift all the way up. And now lean onto the left hand into a gate pose. So keep the right leg extended. And inhale, exhale, lengthen that right arm overhead. A big side stretch. Grounding down through the left arm. And you have an option now to either stay here or go into a fallen triangle pose. If you want to go for that triangle, find a stable place for your right foot. Flex the right ankle. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And then extend the left leg in front of you. And you can either keep the outside of the left foot on the mat, or extra challenge, lift your left leg up into the air in front of you. And breathe wherever you are. Keep breathing. And then let's slowly come down. Bring that left leg down. Bring hands onto the mat. Can put any knee pads aside, bring knees down and round the back into child's pose. Take a moment here, softening through the back, through the hips, and just let your breath slow down again, taking control of your breath. Take a couple more breaths in and out here. And then after those couple of breaths, we're going to slowly find our way onto hands and knees. And we're going to step the left foot forward into that low lunge. And if you want to have a knee pad there, under the right knee, you can bring it in. And we start to circle the shoulders. So bring hands onto your shoulders and inhale, open the chest. Exhale, leaning forward. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, leaning forward. Couple more times. Finding your pace through the breath. You decide how big a movement is in the shoulders, in the spine. One more round. And then lift yourself higher up. And we're going to now turn the right shin, the right foot, kind of crossing the mat so that we can find those warrior two legs, warrior two hips. And then we're going to walk hands diagonally towards the side of the mat, away from the pelvis. Inhale and exhale. You might lean a bit more down and forward. And again, you might move here. You might keep moving your hips.
Maybe just leaning a bit from one foot to the other, from one foot to the other knee. Or maybe there's some circling. Could be a very intense opening around the inner thigh, so be mindful, be gentle. And then with your next breath, slowly lift your back up and find that low warrior two. You might need to adjust your feet a bit or legs so you find a safe place again for the left knee to go in the same direction of that left foot. And we start to move here. So now left hand in front of the body. Inhale and exhale, lean towards the left leg, kind of like a low side angle pose. Inhale, lift up, and now right arm crossing in front of the body. And exhale, lean away from the left leg. But at the same time, you might lean a bit more weight onto the left foot. Inhaling up, exhale, leaning over the left leg. Right arm reaching over. Inhaling up. Exhale, right arm in front of the body. And exhale, reach the left arm away from that left knee. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, leaning over the left leg. Right arm reaching over. And then inhale, lifting up. And then lean onto that right hand into a gate pose. And inhale, exhale, the left arm reaching over. The left foot pressing down. And the opposite end. Right arm pressing down. And again, you can choose to stay here, or we can try that fallen triangle. So if you want, reach left arm up and then step your left foot, left leg in front of you. Both ankles flexed. The last option was to lift the right leg up into the air in front of you. And breathe. Wherever you are, still keep breathing. And then again, we'll slowly come down. Bring your foot down. Bring hands down. Turn towards the mat. Put any knee pads aside. And then slowly bring yourself down onto your belly. And you could just take a few breaths here. Maybe hands under the head and kind of rocking the pelvis from side to side. Taking a couple of deeper breaths in and out. And then we'll slowly roll down onto the back. So you can keep your head where it is. Just slowly roll down onto your back. And give yourself a moment. You could rock a bit from side to side with your knees, with your pelvis. And then we are going to next prepare for that shoulder stand. First, hug your knees in towards the chest, towards the belly. And then see if you could bring your head towards the knees and reach hands to the feet, rounding your neck, your upper back. And give yourself a few breaths in and out here. Drawing in through the belly, so engaging through the core. And then exhale, slowly release the head down. Bring your feet down. And now I will give an option for the shoulder stand, which would be using a bolster or a block under the pelvis.
If you're happy, comfortable with your shoulder stand and you want to take a bit longer time there, feel free to go ahead, find your shoulder stand, or you can follow me with these steps. So either with a bolster or without a bolster under the pelvis, lift your legs up into the air. So this could be your shoulder stand. If you want, with a bolster under the pelvis, we get a bit more elevation through the pelvis and legs, arms just down next to your sides. So if this feels good today, let yourself stay here. If you want to go higher up, remove the bolster and then bring your knees towards the chest and arms down next to your sides. But now before we go any higher up, start to walk your shoulder blades closer together, like you're closing that gap between the shoulder blades. And then lift your legs up into the air. Inhale, exhale, lift your pelvis, and then step your hands onto your back and try to walk your elbows, your shoulder blades just a bit closer together. Keeping legs really active. We don't need to find a straight line through the body. It could be that your feet are more over the head, kind of hips in a slight angle. Try not to push too much weight onto the neck. So keep a bit of a space under your neck. Core engaged, really lifting up through the pelvis, lifting up through the inner thighs, like somebody's lifting your legs, your feet up into the air. And just keep looking straight up. So not turning the head. We should still have space to breathe. Take another breath in and out wherever you are in your shoulder stand. And then slowly, with control, you could start to bend the knees first. So making yourself a bit easier to control. And with the help of your hands, slowly lower the pelvis down. Bring feet on the mat. And you could swing your knees from side to side. You could now bring arms overhead. It might feel like a nice opening in the chest. You could turn head from side to side as well. And then we're going to pause in a twist for a few breaths. You can choose which side you want to twist first. I'll bring my knees to the right side and just keep the chest open. You could bring the opposite arm more out to the side. So in a way, the arm is opening away from the legs, if that feels good. And just a couple more breaths in and out, trying to keep it soft, trying to keep it rather effortless. And then slowly exhale, bring legs back to center. And we'll do the same to the other side. So just lean your legs to the opposite side. Again, you might open an arm away from the legs, or this side might be different. Maybe you want to adjust the shape in the legs, adjust where the arms are. So respecting what your body needs right now. Again, head can turn to one side or the other.
Take another breath in and out. And then slowly with an exhalation, start to help your legs back to center. And then we're going to find our resting pose, Savasana pose. So if you want, you can stay lying down on the back. Maybe just release the legs. If you'd rather lie down on your belly, you could lie down on the belly. If you want, if you're lying down on your back, you might bring hands under the neck to give a bit more curve for the neck as a counter action, counter pose after that long shoulder stand. So if you feel like you need to extend your neck, your cervical spine, then try bringing hands under the neck. And then invite your awareness back inwards, back to your breath. If you want, you can bring yourself back to that three-part breathing, three-part yogi breathing. Inhaling down to the belly, bottom of the ribs, chest. Exhaling from the belly, the ribs, the chest. Inhaling down to belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhaling from the belly, the ribs, the chest. And you could continue another 3 rounds in your own pace with your own breath, if you want. Just let your breath relax. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your resting pose. After your 5 to 10 breaths, if you want to, if you have time, just continue resting in your Savasana pose. Or if you feel that now it's time to end the practice, you might slowly release your hands, your arms, invite some gentle movement to your body. You could stretch the legs and arms long or hug the knees if that feels good. And then in your own time, you can slowly find your way up into a seat, into your own final seat. And that could be any shape, any pose of your choice, where you could give yourself a few more breaths. Just slowly closing the practice. And if it's a part of your practice, you could bring your palms together in front of the chest. As always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking this time to move, to breathe, to check in with yourself. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this practice. Namaste. Thank you.